So there's 4 things that have kind of recently changed. Can you still get away with duplicate content? Yes, but we've noticed everybody that has duplicate content is sliding in the rankings compared to everybody else that has unique content. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Low quality backlinks. 4 or 5 years ago, even a couple years ago, people would just keyword stuff their pages and just blast spammy links to the page, and they used to work, right? A couple of days later, as soon as a couple of days, Google, you'd see websites pop up. But Google, the whole point of their whole SEO and algorithm, all that, ultimately, I believe, is to provide results closest to what the user wants to see based on their search, right? And to provide the best user experience. And so they believe that the low quality spammy links don't lead to that, which I think we all can kind of agree on, because it'd always be people that were out there doing that were just spammy sites trying to get quick rankings. They weren't real legit local restoration businesses trying to help people whose home flooded, for example. And something else that has recently changed is you need a real physical office, and we have seen some clients that they might have a PO box. And there are some regional virtual office services that are still working that are okay, because a lot of our clients, if you're just starting out, you don't have 10 trucks yet, then you kind of need to work out of your home office, right? And we're still seeing some of those get by in Google, but you got to be careful and you got to be aware that Google is suspending some of those offices, and they're paying attention to it, right? Again, because people were spamming, creating just offices out of nowhere that weren't real businesses. And that's ultimately not what Google wants, right? They want to. So keep that in mind. If if you're a large enough company, then you have a warehouse for your equipment and trucks and people, so it shouldn't really be a problem. But I know a lot of the smaller companies were kind of, just still sticking to the UPS boxes and the PO boxes. And we're definitely not recommending that if you're trying to hang, keep your rankings around long term, because even if you do get by, Google can make an update and boom, your rankings go overnight. You could lose a huge volume of calls that you're used to getting. And obviously, you can see a huge dip in revenue from that. So just keep that in mind. And then also, this is a more recent one, is site speed. A lot of people don't even think about the load time of your site or some of the back end stuff on your site. Well, again, Google wants to provide a good user experience, and think about yourself too. I even do it. If I go to a site and it takes 20 seconds to load, I'm already off of it, gone on to the next result, right? So people whose houses flood, for example, they're extremely, it's an emergency situation. They want to talk to a human as quick as possible. They want to tech out of their house ASAP, turn the water off, assess the situation, and start getting the cleanup rolling. So if your site doesn't load fast for that end user, then they're already bouncing off of it. So that's why Google wants to show, sites that are loading quickly. And it affects your rankings, right? So they're going to reward fast sites. So we'll kind of dive into these a little bit in a little more detail. So, starting with number 1 about the duplicate content. Most of our clients and most companies I talk to, they service anywhere from 25 to 60 miles around. It kind of depends on, sometimes your radius, will be a little larger. Sometimes it's, depending on the size of your company, right? And how many trucks you're running, based on where you're actually located in the city, if you don't want to deal with the traffic. There's a lot of variables, but this is kind of tends to be the average, anywhere from 25 to 60 miles around their office location. But, one thing we've noticed over the years, especially by a lot of clients come to us that had, websites built by their companies, is, for some of their pages, they'll be the exact same page, but it'll have just one city change. The only thing that'll be different is instead of saying Orlando, it'll now say, Miami. That everything is identical. The content is identical. And Google can obviously read that, right? They're crawling that, they're looking at that, and so it's hurting rankings. So obviously Google's smart to know that. So moving forward, keep that in mind that you can't have some of the similar stuff, right? Because you can only talk about water damage and mold removal so many different ways, right? And city pages are important, and we recommend you do that because obviously it's more specific to that city. But just try to keep at least around 70% of it unique, and that way Google will see that, and you'll get points from a ranking factor on that. So number two, too many irrelevant, low quality links. I kind of touched on this before, but it used to be you could just have like a one-page site, 500 words, and just blast it with 400 links, right? And then that would actually work, and you could rank, right? I mean, that was back when it was a lot easier back in those days, right? There wasn't it was a lot easier to get ranked, right? And people were doing that, but obviously Google's adapting and picking up on stuff, and they're always releasing the updates about this, right? So the Penguin update was about quality content and relevant links, right? They could see like if people were just getting a doctor's office link to a restoration website, that makes no sense, right? They're like, why is this site linking to this one? So you're not going to get points for that, ranking points, for lack of a better word. So moving forward, you need to analyze your link profile and disavow any bad links that could be hurting your rankings. So whatever company you currently work with, just discuss that with them, and they should be able to help you out with that. And then, I mean, as far as, anchor, we're not going to get too much into the nitty gritty, but as far as your anchor text, you want to vary it. You want to have some branded links, which is like your company name, and then you want to have like keyword anchor text, right? Like water damage restoration. You want to have that linking over to your web page from a high quality, relevant source, right? So like an industry magazine would be an example of a relevant link. But you don't want to go to, back in the day, people used to just use water damage, right? As the anchor text from all their links. Well, Google can obviously crawl that and see it, and that's spammy, right? So Google can pick it up on it. So you want to have a lot of branded links in there too, because obviously if you search your company name, you want your website and your Google My Business and all your Facebook profile. You want all of that to show up in Google. And then that way you kind of build like a branded fortress around your online profile. And then you start linking in with more keyword relevant anchor text from there, right? And you kind of build it out. Google likes to see, clients doing that from on their website. Okay, so number three, you want a real address. Like again, this was the pigeon update. You want to make sure you have your address listed, and we have seen, like, because there's a couple ways you can set up your Google My Business listing. You can do it as a service area business, or if you have an actual physical location. We actually go as restoration companies. We go to service the homeowner, even if it's a remodel, right? Like if we're doing a remodel drive, we have to go to the actual customer, so you don't technically need a storefront. But it does seem that those clients, we've noticed, tend to rank a little bit quicker and a little bit better. So keep that in mind if you're if you're setting up an office or something. But man, like a lot of people that had these fake addresses, UPS stores, etc. They got smacked and they got suspended, and then I don't know if any of you have ever tried to get a Google My Business unsuspended. It's a nightmare, and it'll not be an easy process. I can promise you that. So because sometimes they'll even suspend. We've seen some clients come to us and like, man, like I have a real office that got suspended for some reason, and so we've had to help them, get it unsuspended back on track, right? So Google can kind of do whatever it wants. So we're kind of at the mercy of them sometimes, but that's why we want to make sure, if you already have a web presence, you want to make sure you're giving them what they want, and if you're starting fresh, you want to make sure you start out the right way. And if you do it the right way from the beginning, then you'll have nothing to worry about. Now, this is a big one too. That's it's more recent is the site speed stuff. People haven't really, they kind of just build their site out. There's videos everywhere, large images everywhere, and they just kind of slap it up. Don't really think about load time and all that good stuff. So this is really important, and you got to keep in. There's a desktop load speed and a mobile load speed, right? Because a lot, over 50% of traffic these days is mobile, right? Like I guarantee you, like everybody on this webinar with me right now, you're either logged into this through your phone, or your phone is within arm's reach, right? If not, then you're the one out of everybody on here. So mobile, you keep it, you want to make, and not to go off topic, you want to make sure you have a mobile friendly website, but you also want to make sure that it loads quickly on the mobile version, which is extremely important. So a good way to test this is Google has a Google Page Speed Insights, and it'll allow you to test the mobile as well as the desktop load time. So that's kind of there's a link that you guys can see, that you guys can test your own site if you'd like, and just kind of see where you're at as far as the load time goes. Hope you got value out of that video. If you're looking for more ideas and strategies for better ways to market your water, mold, or fire damage restoration business online, you can go to restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there we have a free checklist you can download. It's called the Ultimate Online Marketing Guide for Damage Restoration Contractors. And there you'll be able to get the latest strategies that are working now to really increase your lead flow online. You could probably even 5 to 10x the number of leads you're getting per month from internet marketing. So there should be a link below, restorationmarketinggroup.com, and there you can download the checklist for free of charge, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.